Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Art of Communicating, and you are in the program of Master Your Communication Skills in Just 10 Days. And today is class 6. Before we go to class 6, let's do as usual a small recap of the previous classes. Repetition is a mother of learning. So that's the reason I keep repeating the chapter so that you do not forget and keep practicing. So in class 1, as usual, I was talking about as about vocabulary booster. In class 2, phrases. Class 3, some common English words borrowed from our regional languages. And class 4, it was about the usage of do and does. And yesterday, class 5 is about some common errors which we all do while speaking. I hope all these 5 classes are being useful for you and you are practicing it. The more and more you practice, your communication becomes more easier. Always keep a goal in mind. You need to speak English with a limited period. So when you set a goal, always also have a time where you can start working towards a goal. So today in this program is only for 10 days, and I'm doing my best wherein you can start to speak English little better way. For example, for beginners, whoever has a hesitation to talk or who is scared of people's judgment, who is finding it difficult to make a sentence, probably my previous class could be helpful. So in this classes, we also learned about the formation of sentences, collection of words, and all those. And now, even though you know how to make sentences, but you have that problem of how to talk politely. In class 6, that's today's class, we are going to discuss about some kind of an attitude words which can add up spice to your conversation. So before I step into class 6, I request each individual to subscribe my YouTube channel, and so that you will be getting my postings once I post my videos. The notification will be shown in your like it will be shown once you subscribe my channel. As usual, the videos will be posted at 8:30 every day in the evening. I hope you all are enjoying sessions. I would love to receive more and more comments so that I can know that you are taking some actions. The more action you take, it becomes more simpler to speak. Without taking any action, just by listening will not help you out. So today, let's go to the class 6 about some attitude words which we have been using every day. We have lots of words, but I have chosen some common words which can help you to speak better. It's just not about knowing the grammar, like you knowing tenses, right? I told you always let attention to the grammar part. It's for the beginners, and if you want to go for the enhance your communication skills, you need to have the advanced level of grammar. Along with that, whoever knows advanced level, but still you should also know how to speak to people politely. For example, if you want to ask someone to switch off the fan or close the door, how do you say that? Close the door, switch off the fan. It's like ordering type. There's a different way of using it. So today in this class, I'm going to use some model verbs, attitude words, which can make your communication more softer. So here we go about the usage of can and can't. So let's go with can word. Can and can't, it's all about the ability. One is that ability. But before getting into the ability form, let me tell you how do we use can I or can he, can she, can they, and another one, can you. So can you is used for requesting. Can you please off the fan? Can you show me your notes? It's like requesting, very, very polite. Keep a note. All these words are used in a very polite manner. Therefore, it's called as attitude words, or in a grammatical form, it's called as model verbs. So before let's go with statement twice, let me come in the question format. Can I? It's like offering help, or it's like asking permission. I remember, like in your school days, we all ask, "Can I come in? Can I take a notes? Can you say something?" It's like asking permission or like offering your help. And when we use in a requesting format, we need to use can you. Can you sit here? Can you keep quiet? Okay. Please mind your words. I mean, your voice. Tonight is very, very important. Though your sentences are polite, but the way you talk, it's rude, it doesn't work out. So please, along with this words, try also to work on your voice. Now let's come back to the statement wise. Can, I, and can't. The general meaning of can and can't is all about the ability. The can expresses ability, like cannot shows inability. For example, she can speak 10 languages. Yes, it's possible. Like she can speak, she's able to speak 10 languages. Please note, you're not supposed to use can and able to together. Either you use can or you use able to. But if you're using able to, you have to prefix with helping verb like am, is, are. Like she is able to speak 10 languages. You can also say she can speak 10 languages, right? It's ability. Now the negative form is can't. Can't nothing but cannot. I cannot cook now. It's all about present tense now. If somebody is asking you, can you cook some, if your kid is asking, Mama, can you cook some Maggie? Your response can be, yes, I can, right? If it's possible, or if you're dead tired, or if you engage some other time work, you can just tell, I can't cook. So can't is a negative one. Cannot and can't. Can you speak Spanish? Is another way of asking in a very modern, a very polite way. One is can you? It's a requesting form. Another one in a polite manner. Can you speak Spanish? You speak Spanish? Not that way. This way. Can you speak Spanish? The next one, let's go with the could and couldn't. So could and couldn't is a past tense of can and can't. Let me not tell you that way. Could can also be used for asking questions. Let's know what could and couldn't is. Could is a past tense of can, as I told you, and could may express possibility or uncertainty. Like could is also used to ask polite questions. Let me give you some example and I'll tell you. Till last year, I could read without glasses. Is a possibility. For example, like it means like I was able to read without glasses till last year. So this one it could may express possibility or uncertainty. Let me go the other one. Could I have a look at your papers? This is used for a polite question. You can also use can I have a look at your papers? The better form to be more polite, you can use as could I have a look at your papers? The next is shall and should. People always think is a present and past tense. Nowadays, shall is used for suggestions or offering. Like, shall I cook rice for dinner? She's asking a suggestion. Can I cook rice for dinner? Or can the other one is offering. Like you are offering help in a pleasant way. Like looks like your bag is heavy. Shall I carry for you? You can also ask, can I carry for you? But when you go with can I carry for you, that is very, very formal way. When you go, shall I carry for you? It's quite informal. Say, suppose you have a close friend and you want to help her, like though she doesn't talk so much, she can say, hey, shall I help you? That way. If it's an unknown person, like not so much known to you, but still you see her not able to lift the bucket, can I carry for you? Whatever it is. I hope this is clear. Then next, should. Should is generally for advice and instructions or opinions. You can do that. Like you should speak English now. So advice. Right? You can, because you have already done the grammar. You should speak English. That's an advice or kind of an instruction. Mama says, right, you should not go there. If you're smoking a lot, doctor says you should not smoke. It's an instruction kind of a thing, advice kind of a thing. Here, you should prepare for your exam seriously now as it's nearing. The next one is must, have to, need to. Sometimes people get confused. Now, when do we use must? When do we use have to? When do we use need to? It looks very similar in the regional languages, but over here it's quite different. Must, have to, and need to. Must is compulsory. Not working. Okay. Must is the most direct way of saying something is compulsory. For example, like when you're applying for a job, especially for a government job, they put a note over there, the bold way, you must get the original certificates, right? Especially, it means that compulsory to get it. In a written language, must is very much applicable. Like people always use must in writing skills, writing language. But when you're coming up to while speaking, you can go with have to. Like for example, look at here. We must follow the traffic rules while driving. Like the first one is you should follow the traffic rules while driving, but you are not following it up and somebody is instructing you, guys, we must follow to avoid accidents, right? First is should. When you're not going ahead with that, then we go with must. It's kind of a directly telling out compulsory. The next is we must study hard to get results because exams are very much nearing. You are not taking it serious. So then you say we must study hard to get good results. Let us see how do we use have to. Have to, it is used for to express obligation. It's also very similar to must, but it has some obligation. Especially while talking, we never use must a lot. We go with have to. For example, I have to go now. My next session is 7 o'clock. I don't say I must go now. We don't use it as such. Especially must is kind of a compulsory which you use for written communications. But while speaking, you can go with have to. You have to go. Uh, you have to go and make the payment over there. You have to practice if you want to speak fluently. Yes, first I'll say you should practice. But when I want to talk to you casually, I say, guys, you have to practice if you want to speak fluently. Need to it describes the necessity, something which is very important, right? We need to be focused if you want to achieve our goals. For example, if you're making a video and you feel that no, I should finish this video today, so no matter whatever happens, I need to finish this. So I will not say I have to finish or I must finish, because I'm making it very necessarily that I need to do it today. So I need to be focused. We need to be focused if you want to achieve our goals. So need to is used where it is very, very important or very, very necessary. For example, like need to she need to practice a lot if you want to get an award. If she's getting into a class dance practice and she needs to practice a lot if she has to get the prize. The next most common errors what people have been using is a complicated one is would. WOULD. This five-letter word makes a lots of difference and it has different meaning. One thing keep in mind always, English is you cannot have one meaning. It has different meaning based on the sentences on the context. So would you like, the meaning here is want to. Would you like to join me? Would you like to say something in a very polite manner? You can use it. So would you like to, the meaning is want to. Like would you like to have some coffee or tea? Would you like to take a break? So would you like to join us? I missed out the two. Would you like to join us? Would they like to say something? Look at the way they are asking us. Do they want to? You can also use do they want to say something? There's nothing wrong in it. I told you there's a way of talking in a very polite manner. You can use this. Would they like to say something? Would you like to join us, the party? The next one, would rather. Would rather, it's used when you have choices or when you have preferences. Let us go with the example and later I'll explain you. We would rather go to hotel, right? You imagine you went to some guest one of your friend's house and you are a guest over there, and there they haven't done anything. They are just preparing after you entered their house, and now you are literally very, very hungry. So you were waiting there for 2 3 hours, whatever. You could not see anything coming out of the kitchen. So you're discussing with your friends, you're telling your friends, come on, we would rather go to hotel. It means that rather staying there, instead of staying there, let us push to the hotel. So would rather is used when you have preferences or choices. Example, you're going to a shop with your friend and there are many clothes over there, like the red color, blue, green, white, and all. Your friend has been watching this dress since long time, and now you're telling, okay, which dress would you like to buy? Which dress would you like to buy? Now there are so many dresses and he has to pick up one among them. So he says that I would rather buy blue color. I would rather buy blue color. So this is a way you can use it. Would, sometimes it also talks about the past habits, right? For example, I can say, I would play in rain during my childhood. I'm talking, for example, she would talk a lot in the session. So you're talking about some person who was in the session, right? And you were noticing her, she keeps talking a lot. So now she's no more, like she has gone, she shifted the place or she finished the batch. So now we are talking about her the way she was in the class. She would talk a lot in a session. If you're finding it difficult to use this, in this case, if you're finding it difficult to use would, you can also replace by the word called used to, USED, and to. But you cannot use would to, no, only would. So would has different meanings. One meaning is want to, another meaning is would rather. It's instead of that we use would rather only when you have preferences or choices. So would is also used for past habits. So I hope this is very easy to use. There are many model words. This is only a sample class. I've given some easy words which you can remember. It's just not about hearing team. My guys, I would request you to kindly take action, start writing examples or work on the same examples, repeat the examples again and again and again. Or if you have any confusion, rewind the video of mine and keep listening to it. You may get some words. And if you come across any doubts, you're most welcome to put in the comment box, and I would love to reply you immediately in the comment box, or I can take up your questions in the next video and answer over there. Either choice, all is you have to put into practice. The more action you take, it's easy to learn faster. English is very easy team if you put effort. Because this 6 classes, whatever I have done, I've taken up some practical ways where you can speak English. My goal is to give some kind of a tips where you can start speaking English in just 10 days. At least begin with speaking terms. Do not focus on the entire grammar process. It takes a lengthy session, but still, if you put an effort, you can learn it. People who really want to learn, you can learn in 10 days, and people who are not willing to learn or who's quite negligent, they may take at least even after years and years, they find difficult. It's all about your mindset. The more you put interest, it becomes easier for you. And please note, repetition, repeat again. Right? Both the meanings are same. So the more you repeat, it becomes easier. And repetition is a mother of learning, and we have been doing it. The more you repeat, it becomes easy to learn so that you remember. Okay, well, let me come up with another video in the class 7. Until then, it's your Anuradha Shri, your career communication coach, signing off. So please do not forget to subscribe my channel, and so that you don't miss our notifications. As usual, the videos will be posted at 8:30 in the YouTube channel, so that you can learn immediately. Do not miss our classes. Thank you. God bless you.